Hi, welcome back, folks. As always, I'm your host, Mr. Update. Now, let's get to the show. Imagine stumbling upon something that changes everything. A simple object that lets you slip through the world unseen, untouched by the consequences of your choices. It's the kind of fantasy that pops up in old stories and modern daydreams alike, isn't it? What would you do with that kind of power? Would it free you to be your best self, or would it pull back the curtain on something darker? Today, we're diving into an ancient tale that wrestles with these very questions, one that forces us to look at why we do the right thing and what happens when no one's watching. The story goes like this. There's a humble shepherd tending his flock in some forgotten corner of the world. One day, after a storm or an earthquake, details vary in the telling, he discovers a cave, and inside it, a body wearing a golden ring. Curiosity gets the better of him. He takes the ring, slips it on, and twists it. Suddenly, he's invisible. No one can see him, no one can stop him. What does he do next? Well, according to the legend, he doesn't hesitate. He sneaks into the palace, seduces the queen, betrays those in power, and even commits murder to seize the throne. From shepherd to king, all because he could get away with it. This isn't just some fairy tale. It's a thought experiment from way back, designed to poke at our ideas about justice. The core question it raises is straightforward but profound. Do we act justly, meaning fairly, honestly, with the integrity, because it's the right thing in itself? Or do we only do it to avoid getting caught, to dodge punishment, or to chase rewards like a good reputation? The shepherd's story suggests that without the fear of detection, self-interest takes over. Ordinary folks, given the chance, might turn into tyrants, prioritizing their own gains over everything else. It's a grim view, one that makes you wonder about human nature. Are we all just one invisible ring away from chaos? But let's not stop there. The real depth comes when we start classifying the things we value in life, what the philosophers call goods. Think about it in your own day-to-day. Some things we pursue purely for the joy they bring, right? Like sitting quietly with a cup of coffee at dawn, watching the world wake up. There's no ulterior motive. It's good in itself, a moment of pure contentment. Then there are the things we endure because of what they lead to. Exercise, for example. Pushing through a tough workout isn't always fun, but you do it for the strength and health it builds over time. It's a means to an end, even if the process feels like a grind. And then there's the rarest kind, the goods that are both intrinsically rewarding and practically beneficial. Genuine knowledge fits here. Learning something new that lights up your mind while also equipping you to handle life's challenges better. It's enlightening and empowering all at once. Now, where does justice fit into this? The cynical take, like in the shepherd's tale, is that justice is one of those burdensome things. We practice it not because it feels great, but to keep up appearances, to gain social approval, or to avoid the fallout of getting caught. Virtue becomes a mask we wear, more about how things look than how they really are. After all, if you could be invisible, why bother with fairness if it doesn't serve you directly? Yet there's a counterpoint that flips this on its head, and it's one worth pondering. What if justice isn't just an external rule or a social game? What if it's something deeper, a kind of harmony within ourselves? Picture the human soul or mind, if you prefer, like a well-tuned machine with different parts working in balance. There's the rational part, the one that seeks truth and makes clear-headed decisions. Then there's the spirited part, full of ambition, courage, and drive. It's what pushes us to achieve and stand up for what's right. And finally, the appetitive part, driven by basic desires for pleasure, possessions, and comfort. True justice in this view happens when reason takes the wheel, guiding the whole system. It channels that spirited energy to keep the desires in check, preventing them from running wild. When everything's aligned like that, a person acts rightly not because of outside pressures, but because it flows from this inner balance. It's like a symphony where every instrument plays its part without overpowering the others, leading to a sense of authentic happiness and peace. Without it, even if you've got all the power in the world, like our invisible shepherd turned king, you end up enslaved to your own whims. Riches and status might pile up, but inside there's disharmony, eroding any real fulfillment. This idea has a way of echoing into everyday life, doesn't it? Think about those moments when you're alone, no one watching, no boss, no family, no social media feed to impress. Do you cut corners on a task, or do you do it right because it aligns with who you want it to be? The invisible ring tempts with the illusion of freedom, promising you can do whatever you want without repercussions. But in reality, it forges chains of its own, disrupting that inner equilibrium. It's like chasing short-term thrills at the expense of long-term well-being. Sure, it feels liberating at first, but it leaves you out of sync with yourself. And this principle doesn't just apply to individuals. It scales up to bigger systems too. Consider how transparency and accountability keep things fair in society. Take something like sound money. Think of Bitcoin, for instance, which is built on a system that resists hidden manipulations. Every transaction is visible on the ledger, fostering trust and fair exchange without some central authority pulling strings behind the scenes. It's a reminder that unchecked power, whether in a person's hands or in institutions, throws off the balance. When actions are hidden, self-interest can dominate, leading to tyranny on a larger scale. But with openness, there's room for genuine harmony, where people can pursue their goals without fear of invisible hands tipping the scales. Of course, not everyone sees it this way. Some might argue that the humans are wired for self-preservation above all, and the ring just exposes that truth. But let's explore that curiosity further. What if the real test of the ring isn't about revealing a hidden tyrant, but confirming the strength of your internal compass? Acting justly, even when unseen, builds a life of clarity and purpose. It's like tending a garden. You plant seeds not for immediate applause, but for the quiet satisfaction of growth over time. In a world full of distractions and quick fixes, that kind of steadfastness stands out. Reflect on your own experiences. Maybe you've faced a choice where doing the right thing meant no recognition, no pat on the back, just the knowledge that it was right. Did it bring a sense of peace, even if it was hard? Or think about leaders or figures in history who wielded power without descending into tyranny. What set them apart? Often it was that inner alignment, a commitment to principles that went beyond mere appearances. They didn't need invisibility to test their character. It was evident in how they lived. Pushing this further, consider how this ties into our appreciation for the world around us. There's a beauty in the universe's order, the way stars align in constellations, or how ecosystems maintain balance through unseen forces. It's not Cain. There's a harmony there, a quiet reverence in how things fit together. In our own lives, striving for that same justice mirrors it, turning personal choices into something larger, more meaningful. It's not about preaching or imposing rules. It's about recognizing that some goods transcend the moment, offering fulfillment that no ring could steal. But let's bring it back to the practical. In your daily routine, how might this play out? Say you're in a job where corners could be cut invisibly, fudging a report, taking a shortcut that no one would notice. The temptation is there, like twisting that ring. Yet choosing the just path, guided by reason over impulse, keeps you grounded. It builds trust in yourself, and over time, that radiates outward, strengthening relationships and opportunities. It's relevant because we're all faced with these invisible moments: online anonymity, private decisions, unchecked impulses. The question is, do they reveal weakness or do they affirm strength? The story of the ring ultimately leaves us with a choice. Would invisibility unleash a tyrant, or would it prove that your sense of justice runs deeper than fear but your reward? It's a mirror held up to our core, encouraging us to cultivate that inner harmony. In doing so, we find that true freedom isn't about escaping consequences. It's about aligning with what makes life genuinely rich. Clarity, purpose, and a quiet joy that comes from living in balance. Well, folks, that's it. Thank you for listening. If you'd enjoyed the show, please remember to like and subscribe. I hope to see you next time.